Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
Well, hello, it's Steve Whitton here with Everyday People, and our guest today is the world-renowned cricket commentator Henry Blofeld. Hello, Henry.
My dear old thing, good day to you.
How are you? It's brilliant to be started with my dear old thing. That's really become your catchphrase, hasn't it?
Well, it's been there for years and years and years, I think, really. It all started way back in the 70s. Yeah. It's very good to be on your program there. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. No, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on. Of course, you're in Milton Keynes coming up fairly soon for your tour.
Milton Keynes at Wavendon, at the stables, yes, on this coming Saturday.
Yes, indeed. That's the
last day of the month, the 30th of April, and I love playing there. I played there one-man show, and I played there with Peter Baxter on our last two-man show, which was called Memories of Test Match Special. This is Rogues on the Road, which is entirely different, and completely and utterly different, but very funny. And it's a lovely theatre, and of course it was Claire Lane and Johnny Dankworth who invented it.
Yes, of course, and not that long ago, actually, it was actually a stable, and anyone from Milton Keynes may remember that they put an awful amount of work into there to make it a fabulous venue that it is today, and so anyone who wants to come along to see you can do that on Saturday night.
Well, they can indeed, and you said stable. I hope they aren't going to put a halter around my neck.
No, it's much improved now. I remember being...
I know, I'm just laughing.
So you've been involved in Test matches since 1982, I believe. So
no, I've been involved in Test match specials since 1972.
Right, okay.
10 years earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've done 40. This is my 47th year, I think, or 46th year. And I started in 1972. And, it's been going ever since. Goodness knows why. They still employ me, but I'm much too old, really. But I love it. And I suppose I'm the last one of the oldies left. And there's some virtue, I suppose, for them in having someone who's, 700 test matches or something.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. And you're spending quite a bit of your time now in Australia, is that right?
No, I don't go to Australia. I've been to Australia, obviously on tours, but I was there for 6 weeks last year commentating when England were there. But it was the year before in England there, I'm sorry. And then I was there last year, you're quite right, but for an independent network, but I'm not doing that again. I mean, unless something happens, I don't imagine I'll go back to Australia again, unless I go, not this coming winter, but the one after, when England are out there, the BBC, I suppose, may send me for 2 or 3 test matches. But Australia, I used to go regularly in the sort of 80s and 90s. Right. In fact, I went out pretty well every year and worked for commercial radio then. But I haven't really been there a great deal lately, and it's not a sort of regular place on my travelling list. Nothing is really now. I mean, I'm jolly lucky to get what I do. I was in South Africa this winter, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that BBC will ask me to go to India for a couple of tests this winter, because I enjoy watching cricket in India more than anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, I can understand that. And, well, apart from the weather as well, of course.
Well, yes, I mean, I think everywhere except England, the weather's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. We mentioned earlier about picking some tunes that in your life, going around the world commentating on cricket and just general sort of observations of life and stuff. What are some of the music tracks that stand out for you?
Well, I want a song from Noel Coward called Mad Dogs and Englishmen. It's very important. All the various songs I listen to on radio too. I love A Bridge Over Troubled Waters with Simon Garfunkel. Yeah, that's rightly good news. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think, what's that very well-known track of Rod Stewart's? Oh golly, I can't think of anything. I can never until I actually hear them. I never remember anything.
It's not sailing, is it?
Yes, sailing. That's right. That's right.
That was a good shout.
Well
good
done.
Guess.
Yeah, you've done brilliantly. Another one, yes. Let's think. Oh, I'm going to think of one of my favorites. It's Maurice Chevalier singing "Thank Heaven for Little Girls"
Oh,
from
right,
Gigi,
okay.
because that's very much me.
Right. So go on, tell us why that's very much, why you describe that as very much
Well,
you.
just that I've sort of, well, I'm not. I'm very, very happily married. My wonderful Italian wife. But in my youth, I used to pursue beautiful ladies with relentless purpose, great fun. And I think Gigi was one of the greatest films. I can't think of her name, but there we are. And I loved those old musicals, and I thought they were so terrific.
Okay, brilliant.
And another one which comes to me is Herb Alpert. This guy is in love with you. It's a wonderful, wonderful tune, wonderful song.
So which of those songs have a sort of a particular meaning or resonance for you?
Well, they're all happiness. I mean, I just thought of another one. Song Sung Blue with Neil Diamond.
Oh, right.
I can remember dancing the night away, just as I can remember dancing the night away in the 1960s to Herb Alpert. And they also, I mean, Noel Card, Mad Dogs and Englishmen, I knew Noel Card anyway, and a bit, and it was a wonderful, wonderful song, and typified both him, and I both me all the mad things that I've done when overseas, you know.
In tropical climes there are certain times of day when all the citizens retire to take their clothes off and perspire. It's one of those rules the greatest fools obey, because the sun is far too sultry and one must avoid its ultraviolet ray. The natives grieve when the white men leave their huts, because they're obviously, definitely nuts. Mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. The Japanese don't care to, the Chinese wouldn't dare to. Hindus and Argentines sleep firmly from 12 to 1, but Englishmen deter stars, siesta. In the Philippines they have lovely screens to protect you from the glare. In the Malay states there are hats like plates which the Britishers won't wear. At 12 noon the natives swoon and no further work is done, but mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. Such a surprise for the eastern eyes to see that though the English are effete, they're quite impervious to heat. When the white man rides, every native hides in glee, because the simple creatures hope he will impale his solar topee on a tree. It seems such a shame when the English claim the earth, that they give rise to such hilarity and mirth. Mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. The toughest Burmese bandit can never understand it. In Rangoon, the heat of noon is just what the natives shun. They put their Scotch or rye down and lie down. In a jungle town where the sun beats down to the rage of man and beast, the English garb of the English Sab merely gets a bit more creased. In Bangkok, at 12 o'clock, they foam at the mouth and run. But mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. Mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. The smallest Malay rabbit deplores this foolish habit. In Hong Kong, they strike a gong and fire off a noonday gun to reprimand each inmate who's in late. In the mangrove swamps by the python romps, there is peace from 12 to 2. Even caribous lie around and snooze, for there's nothing else to do. In Bengal, to move at all is seldom, if ever, done. But mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday, 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 out in the midday sun.
Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
Okay, so all of your cricket career, I understand, started from school pretty much, and you went into journalism and then became a commentator after that.
Well, it sort of happened like that. Yes, it did. I was probably quite a reasonable schoolboy cricketer, and I had rather nasty accent, which probably ended that. And then I went up to Cambridge and was sent down after 2 years. And I then worked in the City of London for about 3 years and became a journalist in 1962. Yeah, writing for the Times. And that's where it all began.
Right, brilliant. Okay, now you mentioned that you had a nasty accident, and that's on your Wikipedia page, and it actually mentions something involving a bus, which...
I had it, no, not on the Wikipedia page. It was in a lane between... at Eton, my school, and I bicycled across the lane without looking, and bus hit me rather hard. Bad odds, and I spent something like 28 days unconscious, I think.
Wow, blimey. So they did that...
But I didn't remember that very well.
No, of course, no, I bet. So that put pay to, what, sort of an active cricket career, did it?
Well, no, I played cricket. I mean, I played first-class cricket afterwards. I got blue at Cambridge. I played for Cambridge in 58-9, and even scored a first-class 100 at Lord's, can you believe it?
Wow.
But I was a different cricketer, and I was not a very good cricketer after that. I had to work at it, whereas before I was perhaps an instinctive cricketer. And what was very much better, I think, than ever I was after the accident.
Right. Now, a couple of references to you actually make reference, I should say, to the bus thing actually creating a bit of an obsession with buses for you, is that?
Well, Brian Johnson always used to say that because of that I had an obsession with busitis. I don't actually think that's remotely true. Because the only reason I talk about buses is actually very obvious, because when you are on certain grounds, I mean, like Lord's, when we were commentating for the Pavilion, which we no longer do, you saw red buses stream down the Wellington Road, and they're very much a part of the day's play, just as they are in New Delhi, where the ground, at one end of the ground, you've got the municipal bus station. And then, I mean, the Harliford Road at the Oval, you've got... buses are a fact of life. They churn past. They're all part of the picture, just like airplanes and helicopters and things that fly over, and pigeons and seagulls. It's no sort of obsession with any of them. They're just something that are constantly there. And I think to paint the picture, you must tell listeners that they are there. I think they quite enjoy it, and as long as it doesn't get in the way. Yeah,
no, that makes absolute sense. In fact, one of the quotes that I picked up describes your style as mentioning the idiosyncratic mention of superfluous details in the scene, which I thought...
Well, you see, I mean, I personally think that's a little bit silly in that superfluous details... One of the things you've got to do as a radio commentator is paint the picture.
Yes, of course.
If you only talk about what goes on in the middle, it can get very dull, especially if it's a slow period of cricket and people are batting maiden over after maiden over. You've got to go over the boundary and liven it up and make people, give some people something different.
Yeah.
And so therefore to say that's superfluous, I think is not the right word. I think they are there. They're all part of the scene. They are part of the picture. And I don't think the whole picture of a ground with anything in that picture is superfluous. I mean, the crowd are not superfluous. The girl in the yellow dress and square leg, she's not superfluous. She's part of the crowd, isn't she?
Yeah, no, absolutely right. No, I think I love that. It's about painting pictures. Absolutely.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Just can't be found like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down.